Hello. I was just watching a video of Congress, and there was a congressman from the Republican side of the aisle asked of the congresswoman from Texas, Jasmine Crockett, asked her if she believed that due process should apply equally to an American citizen or some foreigner who snuck across the border. Now, he's asking this of a lawyer. And she answered, as any lawyer will tell you, due process is the basic decency of law. Due process. It's guaranteed to every human being in the world. But since we don't have jurisdiction over the world, every human being in America, whether they're a visiting foreigner, an immigrant, or an illegal immigrant, it doesn't matter. Due process means your case is heard in front of a judge. You have a right to a hearing. You have a right to know the basic tenets of American law. This is a Congress person. Now, his fallacy is a common fallacy that's baked into our being in this modern world. It's the idea of hierarchy. Now, follow along with me on this one, because it's essential. It's at the root of the problem of our world today. No human being is exalted over any other human being for any reason. We're all human beings. We all are subject to the same basic challenges of being a human being, the same basic ones. Everyone. I don't care if you're an immigrant or from a different country. I don't care if what your ethnicity is or your cultural heritage or your genetic heritage or inheritance or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter of any distinction at all. Are people who aren't bald better than bald people? Oh, that's ridiculous. So why would you think that people with money are better than poor people? Or people with white skin are better than black people? Or brown people are better than white people? I mean, ridiculous. It's absurd, but it's baked in. That's hierarchy. The boss is worthy of respect because he's the boss. The teacher in front of the room, the colonel or general in front of the troops. These hierarchies are wrong. Nobody's better than anybody else. No artist is exalted above others because they're a great guitarist. I mean, I consider myself a multi-talented artist. I dabble in many things. I'm not saying I'm great at it, but I mean, I do it. As you all know, you can see it on my channel. I mean, I obviously do this stuff. Does that make me better than a carpenter? A plumber? A guy who makes stone walls? No, it's not. It's just a different set of skills. Now, maybe I have a certain sensitivity, empathy, or intelligence. Okay, but that doesn't make me better than anybody else. Because I've been to college, does that make me better than anybody else? It's ridiculous. Because I'm pudgy and not kind of out of shape, does that mean I'm a bad person? Not as good as somebody who's muscular and young? Old because I'm old? Am I a bad person because I'm old? Because I'm not as good as a young person? You know? Because I wasn't given some God-given beauty, does that make me a lesser person? Because I'm not groomed. I got this weird beard and long hair, and I don't have fancy clothes. I don't have a fancy car. I don't have mansions. I don't have all that stuff. Because life is more than clothes. Life is more than cars. I don't consider that to be an exalted status. Is Bob Dylan more exalted than me? I worship Bob Dylan. I think he's the greatest poet ever lived. But he's no better than me. He just got the breaks. He got lucky. I'm a poet too. Everybody's a poet. Everybody's creative. Everybody's an artist. No one's better than anyone else. It's as simple as that. There is no better than. Americans aren't better than the other people in the world. It's ridiculous. This whole era here of this thinly disguised racism, where you don't want to make up for the fact that people have been treated like animals by the masters, the elitists, those elitist white land-owning men that had slaves, that decimated and the genocide on the Native American people, the genocide that's going on in the Middle East right now, World War III gearing up, because what? We're better than them? I saw this arrogant newscasters saying to an Iranian American, well, we can't allow Iran to get the nuclear bomb. They would use it. And the woman's response was, well, who's caused more violence in the Middle East than the Americans? The United States is the most violent country in the world. And they said, how dare you say that? You're an American. How can you say that? Some people will be offended. And so, it's just a fact. It's just a fact. We've been at war in the Middle East for 50 years. We bombed all kinds of hospitals and children and women and dogs and dads and cousins and brothers and sisters. And this insane idea that the Muslim people are not as good as the American people or the British people. What ignorance. What ghastly, nauseating, horrible way of thinking. That anybody that believes in the Bible and Jesus is better than anyone else in the world who's ever lived in the history of mankind. It's ludicrous. It's childish. It's ignorance. And it's destroying our world. No one is better than anyone else. No life is more exalted than any other life. That little ant crawling across the ground right there is just as worthy of life as I am. And I don't needlessly kill insects if they're not after me. Right? Because I have great reverence for life, and I believe every human being in the world is divinely inspired. They don't always listen to that inspiration, obviously. We have our own shadow side and our own will, and we're not always the greatest people in the world. I've certainly made my mistakes. I'm not saying in fact, I'm saying the opposite. We're all human beings. We all make mistakes. We all do stupid stuff. We all hurt other people. We have our shortcomings and our weaknesses. That's what makes us equal. We all have to die some. We're all mortal, as John Kennedy said. We're all mortal. Stop being so ignorant. Is there something wrong with diversity? No. Diversity's great. Is there something wrong with inclusion? What, you want to lock people out? You're going to close the borders? That's what you should do? And this whole idea that the other side is some kind of, radical Democrats or fascist Republicans. Well, yes, there are those types of people because we got all types of people. But you don't have to stand for it. I don't like radical Democrats and their incorporated donors that they worship. I don't like the Republicans and the donors that they worship. The incorporation of government by the money, for the money, and of the money. But I'm not better than those people. They're not better than me. I don't believe in any of that elitism. I don't believe in any form of hierarchy or elitism. Because guess what? It's wrong. It's wrong. We are one. I am another you. I don't care where you live on the planet. I am just as much in love with trees as I am with my best friend. Because I love trees. Okay, they're not human life, but so what? So what? They're beautiful creatures, okay? That's life. And we're all equal on this world. There's no exalted status for anyone. And the billionaire in his mansion is not better than me and my humble little room here. You know, we all doing our part. We're all part of the great human experience. So let's love one another, appreciate each other, and let's have diversity as much as possible, as many different kinds of people and different points of view. That's the beauty of our existence. It's so varied. Let's include everybody. Let's invite the immigrants in. Let's give them some kind of status so they can work the hard jobs. Huh? They're not hurting anybody. And let's not have any billionaires anymore. Let's outlaw billionaires. The world would run like a top if there were no billionaires. Let's get over this hierarchy. It's stupid. Let's change our educational system so there isn't some arrogant and bitter teacher in the front of the room belittling and sarcastically treating the students like they're stupid. Anti-education. I saw a million of those arrogant assholes. Well, now I'm cursed, so I've had my piece. But please, there's no one who's better than anybody else for any reason. Not even Jesus Christ himself, not Gautama Buddha or Lao Tzu or Handsome Lake or Tecumseh or Mother Teresa or the Virgin Mary or any of that mythical stuff. Nobody's better than anybody. No culture is better than any other culture. The Americans are not the epitome of human beings in the world. We're not. We're not the greatest country either. In fact, we're one of the worst countries, in my opinion, because we don't take care of our people. We only care about wealth instead of wisdom. And when we begin to see that this elitist country, based on the Roman slave republic, was wrong in its inception and needs to be radically reformed, we're not going to survive the 21st century. Our elitism will kill us dead. The whole race. Not just the human race, but trees, birds, bees, insects, all life on the planet. You're threatening all life on the planet with your arrogance and your conceit. And all you want to do is ruin it more. You know why? Because you're conceited. All our leaders are narcissistic, conceited fools. Some of them are psychopathic. Corporations definitely are pathological. They're not people. They're institutions. And they have their own reasons. They don't care about the human race. They don't care about the future. They don't care about any other life on the planet. And we got to stop them. First, stop believing in this elitist foolishness. You're not any better than anybody else for any reason. For any reason you can think of. Sorry. It's just a fact of human life. No one's better than anybody else. I don't see where that's so hard to understand. I don't get it. How these people can think that being rich is better than it makes you better than other people, or being successful in society, or being white. That makes you better than other people because you're white, because you got less melanin in your pigmentation than somebody else. That's a pretty cheap out for superiority. And that's another thing. All these people think they're so superior, but they never do anything superior. They don't show any compassion, empathy, understanding, wisdom, but yet they're superior. I just don't get it. It's the other pandemic. You've heard me say it many times. It's narcissism, pure and simple. Well, I had to get that off my chest. Everybody gets equal treatment under the law. Representative who dullard, whatever your name was. What a stupid thing to say. You think some illegal immigrant has the right to due process as an American citizen? That's the whole point of due process. Is anybody in America that you're on American soil, you have due process, because guess what? It's a guaranteed human right. Rights don't go away because you're an immigrant or even an illegal immigrant. Rights shouldn't go away because you're a criminal. You do some criminal act, well, all of a sudden you don't have any human rights? You get thrown into a prison cell, roughed up by cops, torture cuffed, thrown in the back of a squad car, thrown into a cage. This is inhuman. We have outgrown our civilization. Our civilization is medieval, in my opinion. Disgusting, violent, brutal, ignorant. And it has to stop. Now, I'm sorry if you're offended that I think Americans are a bunch of ignoramuses, but I do. Now, I know there's good people out there struggling as I am to try to deal with all this stuff, but the corporations have designed this American exceptionalism insanity. They've designed it, they've propagandized it, they've baked it into our consciousness, and it's a total fallacy to ensure that we will continue to make the grave mistake of allowing hundreds of billions of dollars to go to a few people. Trillions and trillions of dollars, hard-earned dollars, hard sweated out dollars going to these idle fat cat rat bastards. And I say enough is enough. Eh? Bernie, me and Bernie. Because there's nobody that's exalted in this world. Everybody's equal. Everybody's one. Thanks for listening. Sorry about that. I had to do that. I had to have a bit of a rant here, but I wish you all the best. I love you. Even though, there's a lot of bad people out there doing a lot of bad things, it's probably not you. You know what I mean? You're probably a working class guy just like me, trying to get through another working week and enjoying a day off, I hope, because I am. And, so I don't mean to insult you. I'm talking about those guys up there in the big house, up there in the White House, up there in Congress, and I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. You're all a bunch of corrupt thieves. Lazy, corrupt thieves is all you are. You think you're exalted, you think you're superior, but you're the worst of us. You're the worst of us. And you ought to be thrown in that prison cell where you would have put me for smoking pot a few years ago. You're going to put you in there. Throw away the damn key. Outlaw any more billionaires. And while you're at it, melt down all the guns in the world and make a huge monument. We are a loving race. We love all people everywhere. Make it out of all the metal melted down from all the stupid guns y'all love so much. Come on. It's ridiculous. It's ludicrous. It's disgusting. It's brutal. It's wrong. There are no exalted people. Everybody is equal. Duh. All life is created equal. Jefferson said all men were created equal, but he was a man of his time. He would rewrite it today to be all life is divinely inspired, created by the universe equally, and has an equal right to exist. All life. Even this mosquito that's on my hand right now. All life. All right? All right. Many blessings, and I hope you get through this dark time, because sometimes, you got to go through the darkness before you get to the light. So let's hope that there's light at the end of this dark tunnel. So I'm so sick of this conceit I see every day. It's terrible and foolish, stupid, dull, and demeaning of the human race. We only get one lifetime, and this is our lifetime. And look what they're doing to it. 50 years of this fascism. It's horrible. The uncivil war, I call it, since 1963, November 22nd. They shot John Kennedy down. That started it. And they've been going crazy ever since. Now they're really insane. They have gone so far in this exalted sense of themselves that it's quite obvious how disturbed these people are. Racist, bigoted, conceited. And I'm sick of them. Sick and tired of it all. Really am. I'm happy to be alive. I'm enjoying my life as much as I can, but they raised the full retirement age, so I have to work still. It's really a shame. That's another cruelty, right? No decent medical care unless you want to pay through the nose, and then you can't see a doctor anyway because there's not enough doctors, even if you need to. Luckily, I'm a pretty healthy guy. I'm glad of that. But I wish you all the best, Keep fighting, right? But watch your back. Keep your head down. It's just dangerous out there. These people are going crazy out there. Be safe. Bye.